What up YouTube, this is Ace. We are back with another movie review and let's talk about Army of the Dead. So I just watched this last night and got the notification on my phone and I was like, oh, Army of the Dead now available. Heard about, obviously it's coming to Netflix prior to the notification that I got. Wasn't sure exactly when it dropped, but yeah, Netflix told me it was available and available to watch, and I was like, yep, that's going to be the movie I'm going to watching that night. And yeah, definitely was anticipated to watch this because it sounded like a cool film. Zack Snyder, I loved what the recent Justice League, what they did with the extended Snyder cut, and I was like, yeah, definitely have to watch this. It's got like names like David Bautista in it as well, so he's been doing some great stuff, with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and some other films he's done as well. Struber was great, but yeah, the movie, I expected it to be over the top, crazy, a bit of cheese as well. But yeah, there's loads of plot holes. But anyway, let's just start, because obviously it's fresh, it's in my mind. I don't want to basically do this little thing maybe afterwards, and then obviously everything's sort of jumbled up. But this way, I can at least go through the actual movie bit by bit and deconstruct it and just talk about all the dumb sort of things. So firstly, let's talk about this. They've got an entire. So it starts off with the army's transporting a bioweapon. And they've secured it in this metal crate. Some guy's getting some roadhead, and they've just got married, and they're going down the road, and there's an entire convoy, and somehow this guy veers off. Obviously, he's not paying attention to the road; he's getting roadhead, and he veers off, hits into the convoy, and there's a big ass explosion. These guys are meant to be trained. These are U.S. military guys. They're normally briefed. If anyone's got like a biohazard weapon, they kind of know it's a biohazard weapon they're transporting. They're normally briefed, and somehow obviously then the operator says you need to get your guys out of there. The weapon's been compromised, and then obviously then this bioweapon, which is basically essentially this souped up zombie, gets out of the escapes, and every time he bites someone, they also become similar to him, like an advanced zombie. I'm not sure how it works. I think the premise is that if the advanced zombie bites the alpha zombie bites another person, they become an alpha zombie. The alpha zombies bite someone else, they become like a lesser zombie. Maybe that, I don't know, man. But they didn't really explain that too well. So, but anyway, that's what happens. This zombie overpowers these military guys. They're army guys, they're trained. So I'm not sure what happens. So the zombie escapes from the containment unit. He starts killing off these people, these armies, these officers, one by one. And these two run into the desert, thinking they're safe. They're not. Obviously, the zombie takes them out as well, and they become the alpha zombies. And you don't see those characters later on in the movie, but who knows? Anyway. But yeah, they set their sights on Las Vegas, and afterwards it goes into the main sort of the starting credits, you can say, where you've got people just basically fighting off each other in Las Vegas. Obviously there's an outbreak, zombies everywhere. It's going crazy, and then they finally have to just board off the entire of Las Vegas. But anyway, getting to the movie, the job is essentially this. So the entire Vegas has been sort of stripped off. Vegas has been sort of like cut off, and then obviously they've bombed it. The zombies that are still occupying it, they've made a decision they're going to nuke Vegas, so that way they're going to eradicate all the zombies. Which, okay, fine, they set a date. It's going to be like in a couple of days time, and but then this Japanese guy says, hey, I need you did really well. So he goes to Dave Bautista. He goes, look, you guys did really well. During the start of credits, you see sort of Dave Bautista and his team fighting off his hordes and hordes of zombies. And obviously you see one part as well when the fighting off is part of the team tries to save her daughter, and then obviously they reconnect. They're eventually then killed because obviously the daughter tries to save the mother and stuff. It's a really heartfelt sort of situation where the mother's then obviously killed because they're boarding off the entire zone. But anyway, this Japanese guy hires him, and he says, hey, you guys, you know what, I've got this money. There's like 300, there's like, I think it was like 50, they got 50 each, and then it was like 50, it was like 200 million or something. I'm not sure the exact, I forgot the exact number, but anyway, there's millions. It's covered by insurance, but I've got a vault down there. The money's there. So now I've got my insurance money, but I want to hire you to get my money out. I think he was offering them like 200 million, but there's like 300 million in the safe. But anyway, he goes, I've got a safe below the city. Go there, and then obviously then take the money, and obviously I'll give you a portion of that money as well, whatever it might be. I forgot the exact number it was, but yeah, which is fair enough. Okay, but they could have just made it obvious, because you learn is that the main reason he sent them there is not, he doesn't care, he doesn't give a shit about the money. He wants to get the head of the Alpha, because obviously he wants the bioweapon, because the bioweapon to him is worth more than the money. They could have just basically made it simple and just say, hey, you guys need to go in there, get the head of an alpha zombie, and bring it back to me, and I'll pay you. But obviously it would have been just too basic, too simple. But anyway, he sends one of his henchmen there as well to oversee the thing as well. Also they encounter at the start, you see this whole sort of premises where you see this whole sort of thing where there's this asshole piece of crap, this guy, this one of his characters who you just want to see them killed. But yeah, remember this guy from like Sons of Anarchy. But anyway, he's this asshole character who's one of these quarantine people that, these the officers that they have outside the quarantine zone. But yeah, they sort of like tell him to come along with the team. Obviously you want to see him die. He's essentially just like used as bait, because they don't like this guy. There's a coyote as well who smuggles him inside as well to try and get the job done as well. But what's really stupid is this Japanese guy says it's his safe that's in here, and for some reason he doesn't give him any combination, any access codes. Later on during this sort of situation, you see that they try and access the vault. They can't access the vault because there's all booby traps. Heads up, yeah, they're in that room, and they're like, hey, by the way, there's these floors. If you stand on them, there's traps, and they keep getting zombies, and tell the zombies to basically use them as just like guinea pigs, and just let them go over it and see what the traps are. But apparently this Japanese guy has no idea of what's in his, how to access his safe. Doesn't give him any information. Says, just go get my money from the safe. Would mean a lot easier to say, here's the combination, go to my safe, go take out the money. Simple. I don't understand. I don't get it. But anyway, apparently they have to hire a team. So they hire up the team again. Says, by the way, they reconnect with each other. Says, we escaped the city together. We did a job. Got a Japanese guy who's asked us to get into the city, get his money, and I'm going to pay you a bit as well. So basically, he tells Dave Bautista, this is how much I'm going to pay you. They divvy up the money and say, I'll get 50 million, you get 50 million, he gets 50. Then they basically left with like, I think it was 50 million. I don't know. They left with like a small amount, like 50. They left with like something like that as well, like 5 million or something. I don't know what it was they left, but they divvy it up. They said, by the way, I need a helicopter pilot. How's 20 G's? You can just go in and out. So that person's hired. I need a lock. I need someone to break into the safe. I don't know what the payout he got, but yeah, here's some money for doing that as well. I see you killing zombies online, and you're some sort of like person who's just having these videos and doing these videos, which I don't understand. If there's zombies, they don't actually get into it. This guy is killing zombies. Is he killing zombies inside? Well, I don't understand. This guy was killing zombies. Was he inside the quarantine zone? Did he know how to get inside? How was he killing zombies apparently? And you've seen these videos, and obviously he's hired, and his friends sort of tag along as well, to help him out as as well. But which didn't make sense to me at all, because this guy's killing zombies in the zone. So he knew how to get inside the zone, or it didn't make sense. It was just all over the place. But anyway, that was that. So basically they get into the zone here. The coyote smuggles them in, when they just hired a helicopter pilot, where they could have just got a helicopter, flew into the zone, and then flew back out the zone, which didn't make sense. But anyway, they had to smuggle inside. They had to smuggle inside Vegas, and then they had to basically fly out. They could have made some sort of. They could have said something like, They could have actually justified why they need to smuggle someone inside, when they could have just got a helicopter, flew into a landing pad, got off there, did their thing, and then got into a chopper. Instead, they found a chopper, and the chopper was all beat up, and the helicopter pilot had to basically fix up the chopper, which is just Just it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. But anyway, going forward. Anyway, outside the quarantine zone, there's people that are still there, basically waiting to leave. The nuke's about to hit, and you find out that Dave Bautista's daughter is one of the volunteers there as well. She's got an agenda. She wants to help this family, and apparently the mother of these kids, Greta, goes into the facility. I don't know why exactly she went into the facility to begin with. The kids are outside the facility. Why did they smuggle into the facility? I totally forgot why, but it made no sense. But anyway, the daughter says to Dave Bautista, I wanna help out. I wanna tag along with you. I wanna go with you. I wanna save Greta. Unfortunately, it was just, there's no point. It was just completely stupid. Every character basically dies essentially. And then obviously Greta also is then saved, and then she dies as well. It really doesn't make sense. What the fuck was the point? But anyway, she says, look, I want to go with you. I don't give a shit. And Dave's like, fine, you've got one more person to the team, and like, fine, fuck it. Anyway, she tags along. Anyway, you also learn that there's this like fractured relationship between Dave and his daughter, because her mother turned into a zombie. Dave had to kill his mother. So you find out that there's also some sort of fractured relationship between the pair. Dave had to kill his daughter's mother, and obviously she turned into a zombie. That's why she put the bullet through her head. But yeah, and also one thing else as well. Going back to the whole sort of thing with the main zombie, the main zombie that escapes from the containment facility as well. These officers are firing bullets, yeah? They fire all these bullets into the zombie. The zombie doesn't die. And then later on in the film, the zombie then has a helmet, like a metal helmet as well. And he's meant to be somewhat bulletproof, and I don't know. And in the end, anyway, he dies with a single bullet. Which is just crazy anyway, but okay. So anyway, she says, look, I'm gonna go without you if you don't take me with you. He's like, fine, fuck it, come then, you're gonna go without me. And so she tags along, and towards the end of it, it's just like, you hate this character sometimes, in any sort of zombie survival shit. They don't follow directions. They do the opposite thing. They fuck off in the opposite way. There's like 10 minutes left, and the nuke's about to hit, because some reason they get some sort of announcement on the screen and say, look, we've got a 24-hour window, and then suddenly they push up the nuke and they say, look, by the way, you've only got like an hour and 30 minutes left until the nuke's about to hit. And like, what the fuck? Let the people fucking outside the fucking quarantine zone be evacuated. There's still people that are there. But hell, fuck knows who the fucking prime minister is. Probably Trump or someone. But anyway, they go ahead and just they're gonna launch it, and you've got like a few minutes left, and she's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go save Greta, and who the fuck else. And she goes into the Olympus or something. It's like 10,000 room sort of hotel, and somehow within 10 minutes or whatever it is, man, in that small span of time, she finds her, which is just stupid. No fucking sense whatsoever. I mean, if I logically I'm from outside the hotel, if I've run into a hotel, if I'm in Vegas, hell no, even if I'm Usain fucking Bolt, I ain't gonna fucking find someone without any guidance in that span of time. Even if I know where the fuck the person is, getting to that floor, getting to a certain person will take, I don't know, take about an hour at least. But anyway, somehow she finds her, and she's, oh, I'm the hero. But yeah, and one thing that doesn't make sense, absolutely no sense. So these guys get onto a helicopter, and they, from a helicopter, go from one side of the strip all the way to this hotel to go after this stupid bitch who decides he was going to run and he can save her friend from this hotel. And somehow the zombie leader, he somehow with his alphas able to go from outrun, or he's faster than a helicopter, which makes no sense, because when she saves her group of friends, Greta and stuff, the zombie leader is there, just standing there with his alphas going and what, which is made no sense. But yeah, this movie's like, it's one of those movies that makes no sense. If you turn off your brain and watch it, great film. If you have a brain on and you watch it and you think about it going, the fuck, what the fuck just happened? What am I looking at? But yeah, a lot of times it was a bit like that. I just had to turn off and just basically just forget. It's a movie, okay? It's meant to be fucking. It is. Otherwise, if you got a helicopter that's on this side and it goes to that side, there's no way the zombies are going to be able to catch up or outrun or be faster than a helicopter. But yeah, apparently that happens because movies, I guess. Oh yeah, and also I forgot to point out, before this whole sort of crap with the helicopter and stuff happens, they have to sneak past zombies, and then there's this whole sort of segment where they're like, the zombies are still, and they're still because they're hibernating or something, which I don't get. It's like, okay, so the zombies hibernate. I mean, okay, cool. So how do they activate? They activate by what? By sound, by water, by. I was expecting. I mean, I don't know. It felt like this movie was like a Snyder cut. It was like I'm probably going to assume that there's going to be maybe some sort of like discussion. There's going to be a sequel, obviously, because that's how they panned it out. But there's also, they felt like a lot of this film was cut, and it's like, Zack Snyder, man, did you cut your own film? But yeah, I mean, there's so many things that you felt that one thing was stupid, where they couldn't fly in, and they had to sneak in using a coyote, and that whole sort of thing was dumb, and they could fly out, which was just dumb as well. But anyway, there was just some dumb plot holes. But this is, I mean, I would have hoped the action scenes would have been consistent. I thought it would have been like non-stop action from the get-go, but it wasn't. There was some parts of the film that just were slow, dragged on. I mean, they kind of sort of fleshed out, talked a bit more about the character, done a bit more with the characters as well. It could be a longer film, because obviously they're not really. I'm not sure if Netflix, they tie them in for a certain. They say they have to do a certain amount of time. The movie can't be a certain amount of time. Maybe they could have done like a 3.5, 4 hour film. It would have been kind of cool seeing that whole sort of thing where you see more information, more things about the character. But instead now they go into the facility with the coyote. They see, hey, by the way, that's the alpha that we need. She's always here. Okay. But yeah, that happened, which was just fucking crazy. Anyway, they talking about them going in and finding this the alpha. But anyway, they established they need to basically, there's this whole sort of thing in place where they need to trade someone to get passage into the city, which makes no sense. So anyway, this asshole, this security guy from the quarantine zone, they use him as bait. So he's given as an offering, which doesn't make sense at all. It's like, okay, so you've done all that, and they didn't establish how that trade works. And then obviously there's this little scene where you see the main leader zombie. He's overwatching, seeing what's going on. He sees his one of his leaders. So there's the other leader that basically they behead. They take the head off. Is actually I think she's carrying the baby of the leader. And they didn't establish that too much as well, because obviously then these leader zombies can create these offsprings. I mean, it would have been cool seeing like them sort of develop some sort of universe where this leader zombie creates an alpha, and then they have this other baby that comes out, and then he could be another leader as well. I mean, that could have been cool. They fleshed that out as well, but I mean, apparently that didn't happen. The baby was killed, and he goes all nuts, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill every motherfucker. Who did this? And he sends this horde of zombies after them as well. But yeah, that was kind of crazy. But yeah, but anyway, what really doesn't make sense was, so this leader zombie impregnates the alpha zombie. The alpha zombie is carrying a baby, but they're both zombies. The alpha zombie is still dead. So one thing I don't understand is, how was the baby alive or dead? It doesn't make sense either. So just get this right. Leader zombie has sex with an alpha. Alpha zombie has a baby. I mean, is this baby then? I mean, are they then dead? Are they still alive? Maybe is there some sort of like thing where they're sort of half dead, half alive? is the baby alive still? Is the baby dead? What, because the baby comes out like blue or something, so I'm thinking to myself, going, so the baby was already dead. Is it dead? Is it? So that didn't make sense. My head is going, huh? So hold on. The baby was dead, and now it's deader, or what? I mean, because she was a zombie, she was dead, right? It didn't make sense. It really did not make sense. But anyway, that happened. Also, another thing that didn't make sense. It was just weird. So you have, like I was talking about, there's this zombie team that the sort of like the zombie killing team, and they sort of hire them to sort of tag along. So yeah, and then they have a little thing at the start, and it's like, so who's ever killed a zombie? And then you sort of see this, I think her name is Vasquez or something. She raises her hand, so I've never killed a zombie. Later on in the film, this bitch is crazy sick. She's doing all these crazy moves. And you think so you never killed a zombie, but you're fucking going ape shit. She goes ape shit. She's like killing zombies left, right, and center, fucking Rambo style, fucking with the whole bandana thing going on as well. Because this motherfucker security, the Japanese guy's henchman decides to mislead her and sends her the wrong way. She hits one of the zombies, and next thing you know, she's like popping off John Wick style, killing all these zombies. I'm going shit. So hold on, what was the thing at the start when you were like raising your hand saying you never killed a zombie? What the fuck is this? Are you some sort of like contract killer? Are you some sort of, who are you? And it was a shame seeing her sort of like, end off, seeing her sort of like getting finished, because that character was sick. And what she was doing was crazy. So I would love to see more of that. But yeah, that was crazy. Anyway, she was one of the best characters. I would have loved to see more of her doing just crazy damn shit. But anyway, she burst through a window because this motherfucker security officer decides he's gonna lock the door behind her. And she's like, "You motherfucker, you piece of shit, you fucking bastard, you screwed me over." And there's ample time where she burst through a window. She could say, that motherfucker has just got me killed. That motherfucker locked me back there. And this is the reason that we got all these zombies now coming after us, because of this motherfucker. There's ample time. Even I don't understand. The man who's meant to be this whole YouTuber thing that is killing, it doesn't make sense, man. She's killing all these people, killing all these zombies. I don't know who writes this stuff. I'm not sure, was it Zack who writes this stuff? But they could have just simply said, said, yeah, he does all the YouTube stuff with killing zombies, but I kill people. Yeah, I fuck up shit. I'm a badass. No, they didn't play that thing. They played off this. She didn't know much, but then she's fucking sick. But yeah, she could have. There's ample time. She's killed all these zombies. She's going crazy with the knife, with the guns, with everything. And then she's like, go. But why? Fucking hell! The guy who's meant to be this crazy cool YouTuber who's doing these fucking like collateral fucking headshots and shit, he just stands there. He just freezes up. What the fuck are you doing? Do something. But anyway, that happens. That was just mental. But anyway, she's carrying this whole sort of thing on the back with like full with gasoline. So because they have to basically go inside there and fuel the chopper, I guess they have to carry the gasoline. I'm not sure still why they couldn't just flip and fly into the fucking place and fly back out rather than carrying these huge giant fucking sacks of gasoline in the back. But yeah, that didn't make sense. But anyway, she then dies because her friend had to then shoot the bullet into this sort of barrel of gasoline, and obviously it turns into dynamite and it just goes poof and blows up, which is cool in action scenes, but yeah, just completely unnecessary. Another thing that doesn't make sense is, so you've got Dieter, who is the safe cracker that they've hired now. So he's trying to break into the safe because obviously they've got rid of all the booby traps, the darts, the shooting guns, the closing door thing. So they've got past the booby traps, because the Japanese fucking idiot could have actually said, by the way, my safe is booby trapped, here's the code. But now they had to pay someone to get a safe cracker, waste more valuable time. But anyway, they're just standing around. And you've got then and then you've got the chopper, the helicopter chopper pilot, who's basically got a fucked up helicopter. The helicopter pilot is one of the most important, next to the safecracker. The helicopter pilot is the most important person in this entire team, because that person is going to get the fuck out of there. They're gonna take you the fuck out of this place before you get fucking nuked. Why didn't they just send people? Give them some backup. The guy's cracking the safe. You fucking interrupt him. He's like, he just fucked up my work, and now it's going to take me another 30 minutes to get through the safe, you know. And what the fuck are they doing? You know, patrol the perimeter, make sure things are guarded, you know, protect one another. But nah, they just stand around because fuck it. You know, why not? Just stand around and just wait. Also, I have to admit, the zombie tiger was cool to see. I mean, they said it was like Siegfried and Roy's tiger. But yeah, that was really cool seeing that, the effects. And also then afterwards when they get into the safe, they finally get into, they manage to crack into the safe, and it's all sort of slow motion bit where they've got the money, and instead of bagging this money, they start to just wave the money and throw it around and say, yeah, we've got paid. Fucking hell, what you guys don't have time for this. Get the fuck out of there. What are you guys doing? And it's just, yeah, anyway, that happens. But anyway, the bad guy decides to fuck him over. They're bagged up. They're trying to get out of here. And then he goes through. He's got one of the key cards, because look, by the way, I've got the key card, the access card, which apparently I'm assuming he could have just used that access card at the very beginning. This motherfucker, the henchman, he's been given an access card. Why the fuck can't he just use that to open the doors, to get into there, to disarm the booby traps, to get into the safe? But no access. No, he doesn't do that. Instead, he has an access card. He goes up. He locks the door. He's got the leader zombie's spouse's alpha zombie's head in the bag. He's like, fuck you guys. You know, this wasn't about the money. It was about the head. You know, there's a fuck about the money. Anyway. So the tiger zombie comes out of there, and this is a cool part of the movie where you finally see this guy getting taken the fuck out. You know, so you see the zombie tiger just basically just throwing this guy around. This guy can't do shit. So definitely overpowered. So then yeah, that's how it happens. But then, you know, and it's a cool part. You don't see anything after. You know, you don't see anything more from the tiger zombie. You know, instead you just see the tiger zombie take out this guy, the henchman, rip out his head. That's a really cool gory part as well, but you didn't see more of that, which is just a shame. Anyway, before this whole sort of bit, you get one of the main characters says, look, Dave, the only reason I came here was not for your daughter, it was for you, because, you know, I care about you. Fucking there's no time for this shit. And obviously this whole sort of brief moment is just stopped by one of the alpha zombies coming out down the elevator and fucking snapping her head off. But yeah, that happens, which just fucking just random. But yeah, and obviously Dave's like, what the fuck? And then obviously he starts fucking going ape shit, killing fucking alphas left, right and center, fucking just destroying them. Which, rather than what happens, makes me go crazy. It's like the zombie comes down this elevator, grabs one of the team. She just confesses her love to him and everything. He's standing and go, motherfucker, man, start taking off heads. Don't just stand there, wait for this fucking alpha, wait for the alpha to spin her neck off. But no, that happens. Anyway, Greta is then saved, and the asshole guy, the quarantine officer guy, who they use him as bait, he's turned into an alpha. The alpha tries to kill them because he also finds them as well, which is just stupid. It makes no sense. But anyway, he's then abruptly just killed with a shot in the head. And then the main bad guy, he shows up, and he's got the mask on and everything, and which I don't understand. So you shoot at his head, his eyes are exposed, his mouth is exposed. You can quite easily shoot him there, right? But the bullets just hitting his helmet, flying off him. Which okay, that happens, but and obviously one that don't get, he knows that his head is vulnerable, and that's where obviously if they shoot him he might die, but everything else is fine, because of his brain needs to be intact. But then he doesn't give any of the helmets to his other alphas. Instead, obviously they're basically unprotected, which I don't understand. If you have that thing in mind, you should at least do that. But apparently he wants to be Batman, because, you know, Zack, you know, he's doing all that sort of stuff. Right. Dave shows up. He also finds them because they're screaming, ah! And then obviously Dave's like, oh shit, I hear women screaming. I know exactly where that is. So he goes up the stairwell. The stairwell is being blocked by some, I think was it mattresses or beds or something, and he moves out. jumps into there. He's somehow got a grenade launcher. I don't really saw him have a grenade launcher in the entire thing, but maybe I missed it. Anyway, he has a grenade launcher. He shoots it towards the leader zombie who's running at them, because obviously I mean, his daughter is crazy good with a gun as well, because she's firing bullets. Prior to this, where you have the Quarantine guy, she looks like she doesn't know anything, doesn't know how to use a gun. She's like holding it, she's quivering, she's going, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So she could have just quite easily stopped her friend from getting chowed on, but she doesn't do that. So she's knocked to the floor. She could have just shot him straight away, but afterwards, apparently in just one sort of thing, she goes like KO Ken, Super Saiyan, fucking with bullets here, shooting these alphas like headshots out of nowhere, going, what the fuck, man? She's like getting some sort of high score sort of thing, like headshot mode or something. But yeah, she's taking out all these alphas, and the leader's on is like, what the fuck? Because if I was there and you just displayed your inability to save your friend and just basically choking there, how the fuck are you killing all my alphas and they're just like running at you? Because if that was scenario, you will panic as well when you've got all these horde of alphas just coming at you. But anyway, that happens, and then obviously and still trying to process how that alpha run the helicopter and then flying. Anyway, which is just all crazy anyway. But yeah, this is all done within like I think 10 minutes of the nuke hitting. Timing is wrong. I think at some point as well, Dave also misquoted the time that's left on something as well. And we only got this many. Go back and just make sure that that's actually true. At this point, everything was just crazy. So he kind of shoots. He doesn't shoot the alpha, but he shoots away from the alpha. The alpha's not the alpha. The leader's been blown aside. He doesn't die because they make it to the roof. Everything's fine, and I know the alpha's not being hit. So obvious. The leader's gonna basically keep saying alpha. The leader zombie's gonna make it to the roof as well. So he comes after them, and he's like, I'm here now, and what? So yeah. The coyote's on the roof as well with them. Greta's there as well. So everyone's basically there on the roof because obviously they want to sort of like I don't know what's this. Yeah. Anyway, the boss is on the roof, and the boss leader, the leader zombie's now on the roof with them, and like, what the fuck? Get out of it! And instead of the helicopter pilot could have just flown away, but instead the helicopter pilot flies down. The leader zombie then jumps into the helicopter, and there's this whole sort of thing that happens where basically she's trying to like move this helicopter in such a way, trying to like force the zombie out. Dave Bautista is there, the daughter's there, Greta and everyone's there as well. But yeah, that's all. That madness is all going on now. The nuke's about to come down. But anyway, the leader zombie, he's on the roof now. Helicopter pilot is there as well. They need to get the hell out of there. Prior to that as well, which made no sense. Helicopter, there's no one. They reached the roof before this, and then there's no helicopter pilot. Like, where was the helicopter pilot? Where was she at? And she's like, no, I thought about leaving you, but I decided to come back. Fucking waste of time and space there. But anyway, that happens. So they're jumping onto the chopper, and then obviously the leader zombie runs after them and decided, rather than going up, I actually thought that a cool scene where the leader zombie has this sort of like this crazy, because obviously at the start you see him taking out these sort of people, these army guys, going to like doing this like crazy sort of like jumping animation things he does. I'm assuming he's got that speed, he's got that sort of thing behind him, but he doesn't have that. And I thought that the helicopter was going down, the blades were going to take out the leader zombie. That didn't happen, so he just basically just jumps into the chopper. There wasn't some sort of, I would have assumed there would be some sort of cool thing where he would leap into the chopper using superhuman abilities, but that didn't happen. So in the chopper, the nuke's coming down, so they have to fly out of it. Let's backtrack a bit as well. Before this as well, when they were leaving the vault, I didn't talk about it. Yeah, but one of the guys, the group of guys that were, so Dita's there as well, who's a safe cracker. But then there's the other guy who's, I forgot his name. Is it Omar? I think he is, but he plays a Ghost in Power. It's cool seeing him as well there. Like, he's like some sort of badass, and he's like, you know what, fuck it, man. I wanna like take you out. So there's a whole sort of like thing where he's like sort of like trying to punch, trying to knock out the leader zombie. The leader zombie's like, nah, you get nothing. He's like bats him away. So he's getting the shit kicked out of him, and he's bleeding. He's got broken bones and shit. I think he breaks his arm or something. He dislocates it or something as well. And then obviously he's thrown into the safe, and Dita saves him. And then obviously then the leader zombie, then the coyote jumps into the roof. So this is when they're escaping with the chopper, and obviously before the whole scene where they're trying to actually evacuate. But yeah, they when the chopper's there, it's getting fueled. The fuels, apparently somehow the pilot is able to fix this chopper, which is broken, with no parts. So that's been fixed. Like Coyote's up there as well. So the Coyote says, you go, I'll buy you some time. And then obviously she has the leader's mate, her head. She's holding it. She's like, yeah, you do anything, I'm gonna shoot a bullet through her head, and she's gonna die. And then there's the leader zombie just hesitating, going, no, don't do that. And obviously they escape, and then you see the leader zombie pick up this pole, just throws at the coyote. The coyote's basically just been pinned to the side of this building, and obviously then the whole sort of scene with she drops the head out. Obviously the leader zombie is like, no, and obviously the head just goes splash to the ground, and obviously then the whole crazy thing happens when the chopper from that goes to the other building, and then the leader zombie is on the roof with no chopper, and he's able to outrun the chopper and get to the building before them. Completely makes no sense. But anyway, let's get back to what's going on. They're evacuating outside now. They're leaving the zone. There's a whole sort of fist fight that's going on inside the chopper. I don't know where Greta and her friend is. I'm not sure. Did one of her friends with her? Or was it just Greta? Anyway, Greta's there as well. And then obviously then her daughter's there as well. The helicopter pilot, as always, cliche, gets hit, and obviously then she's like trying to like struggle with the controls, trying to make sure that obviously they don't crash. The nuke goes off, and obviously hits the chopper. The chopper goes down. Cliche wise, the helicopter pilot dies. Fucking Greta, who they go in to try and save, is now also fucking dead. During this entire thing as well, the whole sort of fight between the leader zombie and Batista, then you see Batista take out his gun, shoot a bullet through the head of the leader zombie who no longer has his mask on. It's not being protected, and whose mask has been taken off, and then obviously his head is blown off, so he's gone as well. But during this fight as well, you see that obviously Batista's now also been bit, and he's bleeding, he's about to die, and obviously he turns into and now he's turning into an alpha zombie. His daughter had to make the ultimate decision. She picks up the gun, shoots Batista in the head. So the whole sort of thing where Batista killed his wife, killed the mother of his daughter, and then his daughter had to basically make the decision of killing him, putting him down as well. So now Greta's dead. Before that he says, hey, I took this money. It's a wad of money that they basically find in the casino, and they're like, here's this money. He's like, take this to help Greta and the kids. Greta's fucking dead already, but fuck it, movie sense, I guess. So anyway, movie logic. One of the team, I think his name is Van, who's played by Omar Ghost from Power. He's basically thrown into the vault. Dina closes it, which locks the vault, and then once the vault is locked, the nuke hits. He survives and it unlocks somehow. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, he's then getting out of the zone. I'm not sure when this is, because he's leaving the zone, and the nuke just hit. And I'm thinking to myself, if the nuke hit, you're now leaving it, and you can't. He's not wearing any mask or anything like that. So he's out there, and the nuke's just hit, and obviously he's just walking around there all casually, and we're going, what the fuck? But anyway, he's there, and he has bags and bags of money, and he's made it out of the safe, and then it goes with him walking across, getting out of Vegas, and finding some rundown place with a car. He gets the keys of the car, which are basically in the sun visor, turns on the car, and he makes it to an airport or somewhere, and then he's at the airport, He's all beat up and shit. He's got the bags of cash, and he's like, and I thought at that stage there was gonna be some sort of like retaliation, some sort of revenge sort of thing, where he finds a private plane, and maybe the Japanese dude was on the private plane and would have taken out the Japanese dude and got his revenge. But no, it's just some random private plane that he says, "Here's the money. I want to get on that plane." And she woman behind the counter says, "Oh shit, okay, fine, I'll make the call." So she makes the call. He's now on the private plane. Anyway, Van's on the plane. He has a toast, some champagne with some air stewardesses, and he feels kind of dizzy. Goes into the bathroom. You see that he's got these little marks on his arm, so he's not been like bit, but there was a bite mark that's on his skin, which is infected, and you see like the infection growing as well. And he's like, fuck. And also the plane is going into Mexico City, so I'm assuming they sort of poised it where this is going to continue, and they're going to do like an Army of the Dead 2 Mexico City. But I mean, there would have been some sort of relief. I mean, if it was me making this film, I would have liked to see this whole sort of progression with the whole baby situation, with maybe the baby survives, and then obviously maybe the army takes the baby away, and obviously the baby then becomes like the next sort of leader, because also the leader is now dead, but obviously that doesn't happen. Maybe the leader had the baby with him when they were basically on the helicopter, in the helicopter. Then obviously the leader dies, but the baby, he was still carrying that sort of that undead baby. I don't know, maybe something around that would have been kind of cool. But no, Van has his cash, he's going to Mexico City, but maybe they're going to progress it from there. Who knows, man? This is just mentalness. Anyway, to end it off, I think this is, I've been talking quite a bit of time now, and this has been probably the longest talk about a movie that I've done ever. But yeah, there were just crazy moments. I mean, I suppose if you do one of these sort of talks that are just fresh in your head, I guess you can get everything out there. Obviously, but yeah, as a movie, all out, I would say average, maybe above average. That's 6 out of 10. I'll give it a 6. There's a lot of stuff they could have done better in the film, but as a sort of action, for the action scenes, for the stuff that's in the film, definitely say for the action, definitely I'll give you that. For the story, loads of plot holes. Wasn't the best film out there by far, but yeah, that's my rating, and hope you enjoy it. This has been ace. That's been a hell of a long sort of movie discussion, but yeah, like, subscribe as always. Peace out.